row. You got me beat. That is great. Congratulations, Gene. All right. Trivikram. I hope I've pronounced that right. Question: How have screenplay writing styles, conventions, and industry standards changed over the past decade? That is a fascinating question. Let's see. I would say, writing styles. Writing style is a tricky thing because the actual stylistic words on a page, the writing style of scripts, hasn't changed that much. There have been a couple of scripts that have tried some fancy things like changing font size and stuff. It's fine. It's not a big deal. The standard screenwriting format and style has been fairly consistent for the past couple of decades. But I think what you might be talking about more are the content, the ways that stories are told, the approaches to character. And that has changed because what's been happening is over the years, as the audience and the filmmakers become more sophisticated, and the possibilities become wider as different filmmaking cultures come into conflict and come into to introduction to each other, I think that we've gotten a lot less accessible, actually, to the standard audience. There's a lot of things that are unspoken. Many things are purely visual. Many things are implied or put into the edit or into what you might call subtext. That has all become more acceptable. In the 90s, independent film was breaking down a lot of barriers from the 60s through the 90s. A lot of new influences coming from European cinema, Japanese cinema, had opened up possibilities. Before that, the studio system in Hollywood was very stage bound. It was very everyone was writing basically very, very clear and obvious scripts. That is less true. Styles and conventions, I think the main thing that has happened in the past 5 years, especially, is that the rules have all broken down. There is still a part of the industry or a part of the filmmaking world that relies on an old-fashioned sense of the 3-act structure, of the character must change, of a character must learn a lesson, of you must state the theme and the goal in the first 15 pages. Those conventions, which are often taught in screenwriting classes and books, have broken down a lot because there are now a lot of different niches, a lot of different voices that are available, but also because movie structure had to open up to the possibilities of series structure. Movies are no longer, I would suggest, the central screen entertainment of our industry. Honestly, series are more interest to the industry. The industry has a certain focus on tentpole movies at the moment, but those have started to fade as the comic book and fantasy genres are starting to fall apart. And the truth is, what I understand from people I know in the industry, I'm retired, but the people I know are saying, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows. Many, many different styles have become available. There is a sort of dinosaur fading industry of very standard storytelling, but genuinely it's falling apart. The truth is, the standard movie is now not that interesting to a production company. A series is far more financially exciting to them. And series rules are all over the place. You can have 6 episodes. You can have 68 episodes. You can have half-hour episodes. You can have half-hour dramas. You can have hour-long comedies. All these things have started to break apart. So I guess my big message would be, we are in a time of change, is one way to put it. Chaos is another way to put it. And therefore, the main thing I would personally advise is find what you like. Find what you would, honestly, I always believe you should write what you would be happy to have written, even if everybody in the world hates it. If it goes nowhere, if it totally fails, you have to feel like it was worth doing. That was it. Because what's going to happen is the way that things get made is that someone is very good, someone works very hard, and then someone gets very lucky. Because you can be the hardest, most talented, most hard-working writer in the world, and if you don't get in front of the person who can write the check and put the project into production, who happens to want the thing that you have done, you're out of luck. There's nothing you can do. On the other side of it, no matter what you do, if you happen to have written the thing that someone is looking for, or something that clicks with them that they didn't even know they were looking for, then you will be successful. That is, honest to gosh, the only thing I can think of as a path to success. So that's my main answer would be, because things are so chaotic and changing so quickly, there is no particular genre that is going to have a 2 or 3 year run as a big hit thing. There's a whole lot of changes every couple of months. The new flavor of the month is happening and then ending. So therefore, my advice is do what you really love, what you feel passionate about, what you feel you're good at, and then get it out there as much as possible over as long a time as possible, and keep doing that, because then you're just trying to get lucky. I did write about that. I did a video. I will post a link to it after this is done down in the description here. This is it says basically the same thing, but in more detail, talks a little bit more about the history. There's a video I did called Career Advice in a Time of Chaos or a Time of Change. I can't remember the title. Anyway, so that I hope is a helpful start. That's my first answer. Rich Girl Brand, you are entirely welcome. Honestly,